So looking at review number 2, again, I'm going to have to product rule or trig first, and then I'm going to chain this, although it's going to be a mess because I'll have to use the product rule in order to find the derivative of x squared y. Again, sometimes I'll product rule in place. Other times, if it looks more complicated, I'll take the time to label things and slow it down a little bit. So f prime is 2x, g prime is dy dx. And maybe you're good enough to do this one in place, but that just looks like a lot of stuff going on. So product rule is first times derivative of the second plus vice versa, second times derivative of the first. And yeah, that looks out of order, and so some people will kind of rewrite it on the fly to put it in a better spot. I may need to go to a separate sheet of paper for this, because at this point my calculus is done, but there is algebra in my future. So dy dx, because there's two terms with dy dx, so I think I need to distribute this negative sign so that I can get dy dx by itself. Okay, so I distributed the negative sign of x squared y to both of those pieces. Double checking to make sure I did that correctly. I think I did. And I had to do that in order to get the dy dx's on the same side. So dy dx plus, I got to move all of this term over, x squared sine of x squared y dy dx equals negative 2xy sine of x squared y. So this is all algebra, but I have to do it in order to get dy dx by itself. So you can't safe stop if you haven't answered the question. The question is, what's dy dx? Well, I'm not quite there yet. So I'll factor out dy dx. I'm close now, though. 1 plus x squared sine of x squared y. Yeah, I'm almost there. This is complicated. I mean, the pieces are complicated, but the math isn't. Like, all the junk I'm writing is complicated, but the algebra to solve for dy dx is not that bad, says the calculus teacher. So now I'm going to divide by all of this stuff that was left over when I factored out the dy dx. What a yucky problem.